So, this is creaetae. After exactly one person said that I should play creaetae, I decided to play it. First thing I did was create a super duper ultra new world, and I pressed create. After signing some strange government contract saying I wouldn't become a millionaire, I decided to play the game. As the game loaded in, I waited for about 3 hours. As soon as the game loaded in, however, I realized I was birthed from a tree and decided to kill my tree parents so that I could get some money from them, as all people do. The next thing I did, though, I killed sheep, because killing trees wasn't good enough for me and I needed more violence. I killed as many sheep as I could. I then tried to kill this guy. However, I would immediately regret this decision, as he could kill me back, and I ran away because I was a coward, and then I went back to killing sheep. Next thing I did was I went over and I decided I needed to make some cool stuff, so I dug deep into the mountains. As I dug deep into the mountains, I realized I could make an axe now, and axes are super duper good. Why? Because they let you instantly chop down trees. For example, bam! And I then converted wood into coal because I am attracted to coal. I want to marry coal because it's the same thing as oil to me, and I'm American. I then built a house because I was tired of being a hobo, and I really wanted a home so that I wouldn't be homeless. After deciding to do some moderate deforestation, I decided to make a mine shaft and get some good loot, because I like loot. And I then decided to look for my own mine shaft, because this one was terrible. After this, I found a new mine shaft that had super useful copper ore, which is extremely useful in this mod pack, as it can be used to create swords and stuff. After returning to my base from a long, arduous journey, I created my first dagger from copper, which has basically made me Spy from Team Fortress 2, as it can backstab. Knowing all my previous Spy gameplay, I was now an unstoppable force. Though I was starting to get hungry, so I found some epic gamer fish that I decided to kill with my knife. However, my aim with it was terrible because I forgot to stab, instead I slashed, and then I killed fish. I then made a moderately smoke-producing furnace that was very useful for my lungs, as they needed it. Now that a bird tried to assassinate me, I decided to dig a pit so I'd be safe from the sky. Why would the bird try to assassinate me? I do not know. But now that the bird did try to assassinate me, I mined some ores. These ores were terrible, as they could not be used for anything. I then returned to my base. As I explored another abandoned cave, I found something useful, which was iron. Iron is useful because you need iron in your diet, which is very useful because it's useful. After I mined all the other useless, worthless disappointments of ores, I decided to eat the flesh of my enemies. Not because I was cool, but because I was starving. I then returned to my base because I was a coward and was fearful of the night. As I returned to my base, however, I found this tree, which was absolutely useless, and then found another tree that looked kind of similar to it. They were both completely useless. There was no point for me to talk about this. I do not know why I talked about this. However, as I was returning, I saw a zombie, and it had a knife. This was very bad, but I had my spy gameplay, so I tried to trick stab it and miserably failed. As I was scared, I dropped my knife, and I ran away. It then proceeded to kill me. I then raged at this like your average gamer would, by smashing my PC. However, I was better than that, and I returned to the location where I had dropped my knife, because I really wanted it back and I forgot to turn on keep inventory. And I also didn't have creative mode to give me my stuff. After regaining my knife, I realized I was freezing to death, and this was very bad. I began to run back to my furnace abomination. Eventually, I made it back to my furnace abomination. However, now, there were zombies at the door, that then sank underwater. I do not know where they went. I could have swore they were there just a second ago. I swear I'm not schizophrenic. However, there's another zombie approaching, and not learning from my mistakes, as the average person would, I decided to try and trick stab them again. Why? I do not know. This was an absolutely terrible idea. Now with a horde of zombies here, I did what I always do. I trick stabbed, and I failed. Now being a disappointment to both humanity and zombies, I decided to run in circles like Looney Tunes. I was very cowardly, but I had a ladder, so I was safe. I then built a tower because I was superior to the zombies, and then I fell off. As I was running for my life, I realized I was probably going to die, so I built another tower. Now one of the zombies was mutated, and I waited until daytime, before I would once again not learn from my mistakes and actually succeed the trick stab. This made me very happy. Now that I was so good I could succeed the trick stab, this baby zombie was too much of a coward to fight me, because I was superior to him.